Did that work? Yes, it did. Hello, and thank you for joining me today. We're just going to make just a few things every Sunday. So, or most Sundays. One of them is my son's birthday, so I won't be here. Today, I've wanted to make this for so long. The turmeric, ginger, and black pepper detox shot. Not something I would usually probably choose to make or consume, but given everywhere you go, everyone's coughing and spluttering. Tis the season. I thought, you know what, let's give it a go. Um, Sadly, for your entertainment, it's got to chill for 3 hours, so you won't see me try it unless I record it. I'm sure my face will tell lots of stories when I do that, but it's good for you. So we'll get started on that. So here I've got it planned into my week. So it's just a matter of clicking on that. I've made sure I've got all of the ingredients there. So we're just pressing start. Now, all of these ingredients, who's that joining? Is your friend Gail?
No, it's
Okay,
Tracy, and she's
that's okay.
strong at the moment.
No drama at all. That's okay. People will just join bit by bit. I just thought timing wise it might have been. Hi Gail. All right, so first we're going to, with this wellness shot, we've got apples. Now I just used what I had in the fridge. I didn't have green ones. That's okay. The whole point of your Thermomix is where possible trying to use what you have rather than purchasing more ingredients. So the ginger, I had the ginger, and it says to cut it into like coin shapes slices. So for anyone who doesn't know, when you do that, it breaks it up so you don't get, you get like hairs. It feels like hair in your ginger. So when you're slicing it into coins, it stops that happening. So it's asked me to do that. Fresh turmeric, or so it was 40 grams of fresh turmeric or half a teaspoon of dried. And of course, I've got dried. So I've used that. And so I'm going to pop that in, as well as some black peppercorns. There's just 6 of them in there. So, which sounds so scary that I'm going to drink that. I don't really love spicy stuff. So this is, I'm really keen to try it though. Like I said, it's for health. And some lemon juice. All those ingredients by themselves are just amazing, and they're very good for us. All right, so popping those in, ticking them off, and 190 grams of water. You can see my scales are up there. You can see it better than me sometimes when I'm like this. I'll just add somebody in from the waiting room. I multitask. There we go. So we've got up to 190 grams there. A bit over, but that's okay. Hi, Barbara. We're just making a wellness shot. So I popped my water in. Next, now it's going to blend. Now, for quite some time. So we're going to leave that to blend to the side for 3 minutes. Now, I don't know, can you hear me? Great. Get set up then for the scrolls while that's doing that. All right, so with the baking that, a little bit of a wet cloth underneath helps it to pivot. Nothing too, not soaking wet, just very dry. And then you can see that's 6 then.
You're a bit muted now, Michelle, like you weren't before, and now you are when you're talking.
Okay. That's the noise. So that's what I thought might have happened. I've just walked away for a second. Zoom actually cuts out the sound when something's a little bit noisy, and because the Thermomix is on blend mode, so right the way up at speed 9. Although the 7's quieter, I wouldn't have even tried talking. I was curious to see if it still cut it out, but it did. That's okay. So next I'm going to show you, so that's going to blend for 3 minutes. Next I'm going to show you, I've already made dough. So that's all done and dusted because that's easy to follow on Cookie Doo. I'm using the easy everyday white bread recipe. That's my go-to. I find it gives really fluffy, really yummy sort of consistency for scrolls. I don't make my scrolls, you know how sometimes they're quite small. I make them almost like a scroll bread roll. They're quite large and they're quite fluffy. Now, just remember with scrolls, you can put absolutely anything in them. that suits you. Today I'm just going basic because it's been mum's taxi day. I've been running kids around all afternoon. So I'm just putting bacon and cheese with some herbs. But you can be as creative with this as you like. You can argue with your family whether pineapple goes on a pizza. One of my sons loves pineapple and olives in his, so quite often I will do half, or a third for him, and then the other 2/3 for the other two, because they just like a little bit of tomato paste or passata and bacon and cheese. What's great about that is two of the brothers don't steal the third brothers because nobody likes the pineapple and olives. So he quite likes it when I do that. Sorry, I've had to walk away for this. I just didn't want to stop it. And yeah, what I was saying before about the baking mat is that's our bread baking mat. It's fiberglass encapsulated in silicone to keep it safe, so we can't cut on it because once it's cut and it's exposed, it's no longer food safe. But they are any mat like that, they're quite slippery. So if you just get a really, really slightly damp cloth and just wipe the bench or around, where the edges would go on the bench, then it helps it stick. So that's what I was trying to show you before. Sorry, I'm back. Was I just wiped under the bench with that very lightly damp cloth to make that stick there. Now, this has the wellness shot has finished. And it looks delicious, but that's a bit of a lie, I think. No. Wellness shots. I can smell it. Maybe I should record myself drinking that later when it's chilled for your entertainment. But yeah, that's sorted that out quite well. And that had like quarter apples and ginger and everything in it. So now later on, once we're done, it's to go through a mesh sieve, to make sure you haven't got all that pulp in there. I mean, you could drink it if you wanted to, but it says discard the contents of the sieve and then transfer juice into a glass bottle, seal and place in the fridge to chill completely for approximately 3 hours. And then you can drink it. So I will come back to you and give you a laugh on that. I'm sure that will be fun for you. That's what we're here for, yeah? A bit of fun. All right. So with the dough, like I said to you before, and Barbara, you've probably seen this a million times, you poor thing, but that's okay. So with the base here, you can see the blade underneath. If you turn that while it's upside down, it'll help it'll help the dough drop out of the bowl. And with the TM7, we've actually got the little, this new spatula's got just this bit on the end, which way? So it helps you do it because you can see I was struggling before. I was forgetting that's TM6 days. So you can just do it that way to help it drop out. Yeah. So ordinarily we were trying to grip it. And look, I will admit, I actually let it prove in this bowl because I did the dough and then I ran off to pick up a child somewhere. So it probably is a little bit more stuck than it normally would be because it's done the full prove in the bowl. But it's still, you can see it comes out quite easily. So that's a little trick there. Now remember with your pre-clean, always when you use your dough, always choose dough mode for your pre-clean so that it doesn't get stuck more. Because your pre-clean, the dough, it just goes to 37 degrees. So if it's any warmer, it kind of gets stuck and that's not cool. It makes it harder to clean. It's a hindrance rather than a help. All right. Now, please don't judge me here. These Sundays are going to be like, you're going to be like, she doesn't know anything because it's the end of a weekend and it's been crazy. I actually couldn't find my rolling pin. So we've got a Christmas rolling pin today, but I'm not sure that matters. Better than like a wine bottle or something that I have had to use before. I think I packed it up for a cooking class and it's still in my big kit in the garage. I've got big suitcases with all my in-person cooking class stuff in. Usually when I can't find something, that's where it's gone. So my dough has snowflakes on it now. It's lovely, isn't it? All right. I will leave a little bit to the side though, because I want to show you. Lisa and Kylie, have you made bread rolls before much?
Manually, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so when you've got your bit of dough to roll for your bread roll, the thing is just remembering that every little divot in it becomes far greater once it's baked. So I like to just get my portions. So if I was making rolls out of this, I'd portion it all out and then roll it a little bit, and then try and like pull it up like a taco, and then the edges up. Like this is a little piece, so it's a bit harder. I should have got a bigger piece. And then pinching and turning to make it smooth. So underneath is where all of that messy dough is, not on top, if that makes sense. And then just pulling it all under like that and popping it on your tray to bake. So if that had, so this has got a little bit of a line in it. I don't know if you can see. When that bakes, that will be far more prominent. So, you know, just making sure that if you do want a really pretty roll, you kind of flatten it out like that first, bring it up like a taco, and then pinching and turning. And that's it. Just pinch and turn, be a bit rough with it to get all of that dough in together at the back there. So much better. Yeah? Is that helpful? I feel like I've shown this so many times it's boring for people. So
That
but I
is
thought,
so cool.
Yes.
That is so,
Agreed.
I've never actually been to a Thermomix demo. I've never actually seen a demo.
have you?
I just no, I'd love to see one day.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
So I don't know any of the tricks at all. So that is really
lovely.
cool. That was worth me coming along just to learn that.
Ah, I love it. Whereas poor Barbara's there, like, yeah, Shell, we've seen that. I do scrolls. Thanks for coming, Barbara. All right. My snowflake dough, that's hilarious. Whatever. Wouldn't be the first and last time I've improvised with a rolling pin.
Do you know, in all
Right.
the times I've watched you do this, Michelle, I have never made scrolls.
Oh, so today's the day you have to do it. Not today, but this week.
I know. Every time after I go, I've got to do that, and I never do.
Is that why you keep coming back?
Probably, and it's probably because I don't have kids. Like it, you know, they're all gone.
Yeah.
So it's but
a good scroll for lunch, especially these ones, I find because they're more like a bread roll. I feel like stereotypical scrolls can be quite dry and hard on the top. And I don't like them like that. So I pretty much will make them like bread rolls. Another thing which you can give or take, you can use tomato paste on the base or passata. I find passata actually is a little bit smoother sort of feeling. So whatever you've got, you can use. I know there's sometimes a little bit of leftover passata from doing things in the kitchen. And the tomato paste is a little bit more of a kick, of course. So it just depends what you like. So that's up to your preference. There we go. That's a bit cool. Now, I like Italian herbs on it. Everything tastes better with Italian herbs. I'm sorry. I use it so much, but just a little light sprinkle of Italian herbs just gives a little bit more of a kick. The other tip that I have with making dough is putting, when the recipe asks you to put sugar in, use brown sugar because it just takes away that doughiness. So a teaspoon of sugar, just don't do white or raw, use brown sugar. But don't ask me, my husband added that years ago being a chef by trade and I've never questioned it because it worked. But it just takes away, you know, sometimes your dough can taste a bit, sounds silly, doughy. It just takes that edge off. There we go. Now, another thing too, if I was making scrolls for adults, I actually cook off the bacon first. I actually do it most of the time when I make it for my kids as well. I didn't have time today. I feel like it gives just a better flavour when you pre-cook the bacon properly, not just a quick saute, give it a decent cook. Fry off in the pan or heat mode, whatever suits you. But yeah, like I said, I was a bit busy being mum's taxi today, so they get what they get. They won't be upset. They love scrolls. I thought they'd be sick of them by now, but nope. So yeah, there's just different ways to make these for adults, Barbara. That'll make it a little bit more appealing for you, maybe, rather than thinking that they're for kids. Hi, Hayley. All right. Now, before we keep going, what I was going to do was this came during the week, and like sometimes we get freebies that we earn, and this is a roasting pan with lid. And I actually, how bad? I haven't even opened it yet, but I thought, let's open it together and see if this is going to be good for my scrolls, because when I make my scrolls, I like the tray to have an edge so that it's not hard and it stays fluffy, if that makes sense. So I don't like using flat open trays. Again, personal preference, and I'm a bit fussy with it. This is going to be perfect. Look at that. So that's the roasting pan with lid. Yeah. Oh, look at that. But I was just trying to see. I think that base bit will be amazing. So you could use that as a tray as well as a lid. Doesn't matter. So we've got that ready to go. So it doesn't have to be that deep, but just so it's got some kind of side on it, I really recommend. Now I'm just going to get, I forgot to get it out. I like to use a serrated knife for this because I just find it works better. But of course, we're not going to do it on our baking line. Now, you can pack that full of, like I said, whatever ingredients you prefer. If you put too much cheese in it, then it just gets a bit of an oily mess. So just keep in mind to go easy on the cheese. If you have the ingredients all the way up to this edge, it's good. And leaving a little bit away on this edge where there's not much there, maybe just some cheese. There we go. So I just align that. And now this is where you feel a little bit like an octopus. Now, because your hands everywhere. If you want to make them really big scrolls, then you have it deeper this way. But if you don't want them and you want more of them, do it this way. That makes sense. So you got to think about that. That does my head in sometimes. I'm like, hang on, but this suits what I want to do. So I'm just pinching and turning that first little turn.
Can you
Like I
just
said,
say that one more time, Michelle? Because you just did my head in and it didn't work.
I know. I'm sorry. So if you want the rolls to be fatter rolls, bigger scrolls, sorry, make it this way, right? If you don't and you want more scrolls, go this way, go lengthwise, okay? And I'll show you as I go, you'll see why. All will be revealed as I cut them up, I guess. There we go. So I like mine about this size for lunch boxes. But if I was making these for adults, I would make them bigger. And I just pinch it together to keep it together there. There we go, just to try and keep that together. All right, now, one thing about this is if you do it and there's a big lump in the middle and it's, tapers off each edge and you want it to be the same, you can just kind of just manipulate it to be even. So it's quite forgiving, and scrolls look quite scary to do, but they actually are really quite forgiving as well. So don't be put off by it. I'm going to move this mat and mess up my bench. I do have a thin plastic mat I usually pop in, but organisation is going well today. All right, where am I going to put this where it's not going to see? I need a bigger kitchen on the cards. I'm just saving for it. So again, personal preference as to how thick you want the scrolls to be. I do they're always at least an inch, maybe a little bit more, or a couple of centimetres, depending how you like to measure things. But again, personal preference. You can see the serrated knife doesn't get stuck on it and it doesn't squash them as I'm cutting. Whereas I find if it's not a serrated knife, it just squishes them. So the sharpest serrated knife you've got. All right, so as you pick them up, make sure that is pinched in, if that makes sense. So I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to put them quite close to the edge because I want them to rise up. So again, if you wanted them to be bigger, they could be lots bigger, and I have made them lots bigger before. When you press that tail part in, make sure that tail goes up against another scroll so that it doesn't unravel, if that makes sense. Otherwise, it'll unravel during cooking and you'll have all these half open scrolls when you get it out of the oven. So that's probably the biggest tip there, is just to make sure those tails face the next scroll. and enough so they can't flick open. Makes sense? I'm not talking backwards yet. It's always a hazard on a weekend. All right, so just putting them in together. Now, the other thing I do, what's that? Who's that? Someone say something. No? The other thing that I do is a lot of scroll recipes, and this is why I don't actually follow a proper scroll recipe for this, would have you bake them now. I don't. I let them proof again. And that's how you get proper, nice, fluffy ones. So when I make scrolls, they take ages, but if the weather's like today, but there's not a lot of, you don't have to do a lot. You just need to let it proof. So you've got to allow the time to do it essentially. Because if I cook them, if I bake them now, they just stay small and I find they're a little bit harder. Whereas if I let them proof again, that's where I get that lovely fluffy, just like a bread roll. If you were making bread rolls, you proof it, you shape it, you proof it, you bake it. So it's no different, in my opinion, with scrolls. You proof it, you shape it, we proof it, then we'll bake it. So the two proofs. And you can put it in a cold oven to speed it up, but it's just, I don't know, I'm a bit fussy with them. Not quite the same. There we go. If that one fits there, might be two. Got to work out this new tin. When you get a new toy to play with, you've got to work out how big the scrolls should be, etc. moving forward. All right, so I'm going to leave those to proof, and I will pop a photo when I'm finished, because like I said, today was just shaping, just so you can see what they look like. But you can see I've got them quite close together. Like I said, I want them to rise up, and we'll do that second proof. My immunity shot, I can get my words out. That will be in the fridge waiting for me to try after dinner. Maybe I will record that and I'll pop it up and look who's mixing for your entertainment. And I'm not very good at hiding when I drink something or eat something, drink something I don't like. There's lots of photos of New Year's Eve over the past with me going, whatever I've tried. But, good to have a go at it. I'll let you know if you live through it or not. Does anybody love turmeric and love the idea of the turmeric, garlic and pepper? Or is everyone a bit like me?
I know turmeric's really, sorry.
I was going to say, I like turmeric, but I don't like the others.
Yeah.
I like all the others, but I take turmeric for arthritis. So yeah. So this wellness drink might be a different way of taking it.
Yeah, that's true.
Is it listed as wellness drink in Cook I Do?
Yeah, it's got a long name. Turmeric, ginger, and black pepper detox shot. It's called.
Okay.
I'll put it in the email if you need. But turmeric, ginger, and black pepper detox shot.
Thank you.
There are a whole heap of them for gut health and all sorts of things. But I thought,
good.
you know what? If you're getting a cold, that's gonna help.
Yeah.
That's gonna kick anything out of your system, I think. Oh my goodness. I remember when I was a little girl, when I was very sick once, my dad made me just eat straight garlic cloves because he was like, garlic, fixes everything. Oh, I still remember. I'm surprised. I love garlic though. So now I'm surprised I do after that, but I ended up cheating and cutting it into, I diced it and then I swallowed it like tablets. I think he was a little bit, I don't know if he was proud or what, that I found a way to consume it. But anyway, all of that stuff is brilliant for us. We do have, Cookie Doo's got so much in there. And I've been a consultant for 9 years. I've looked at this so many times and going, oh. So that's what Sundays are about. Let's try something new. Let's do a prep. This is for my kids for the week. But yeah, and they are delicious. Questions?
And there's another turmeric wellness shot in Cookie Doo.
Yes.
Yeah, and it doesn't have garlic in it. It's got lemon, turmeric, ginger, pineapple pieces, filtered water, cayenne pepper, and black pepper.
Yeah, I wasn't brave enough for the cayenne pepper and the black pepper, even though it's got pineapple in it. I was like, but you're welcome to try it and let me know. We should start a challenge on Look Who's Mixing. Yeah, everyone makes a shot and tries it of these wellness shots.
Well, you could always leave the pepper out, I suppose, and see what the rest of
Yeah.
it's like. But
Yeah.
yeah.
It's definitely a kickstart, yeah. But it's just wonderful to have all these resources, really, because there's no way I would look that up online and find that and think, let's try that. But I see it all the time on Cookie Do. Yeah. So if anyone's got any more questions, I'm trying to keep these Zooms just to about half an hour, just to check in, have a guest bag.
Do you glaze them or anything at the end, like before you cook them? Or
Good question. Before I cook them, I just put a little tiny bit of cheese on top.
okay, cool.
Yeah, just a little bit, not a lot, because like I said, if you go too crazy with the cheese, it just ends up an oily mess.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Cool.
just a little bit on the top, and yeah, just to see how it goes. And yeah, how cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today yet again. It's been lovely to have a chat. And yeah, any questions? I'm trying to find the stop record button. Bye to all the recording people. See you soon.